Yes. Uh, yeah. Welcome back again. So we'll see. Introduction part we'll discuss. Introduction to cloud computing and Microsoft Azure, and we'll see different options. Which are available to maintain the SQL databases in Microsoft Azure. Right. So basically, we know already what is cloud computing. I think maybe some people are familiar with what is cloud computing. So basically, today we have two types of computing environments are there. Computing platforms are available today. Okay, one is here like on-premises environment where we can build the data center at the client location. Okay, so depends on the uh, depends on the client location, means where the client is from. So either at the client location, we are maintaining a local data center. But remember to build the local data center, okay, and to start, to make it functional. So time taking process, right? One is like huge capital expenditure is required for us to build the local data centers. Okay, so in the same way, time taking process. Second major problem is it with on premises environment is what time taking process. So we need a lot of time, like 2 to 3 months. We need actually to build the complete data center. So again, say we have to test it. After that, deploy the applications. Then start using time-taking process. First one is your capital expenditure is very high to build the on-premises data center. First problem is that capital expenditure is very high. Second one is a time-consuming process or time-taking process here. Third one say like operational expenditure is also high. Operational expenditure means we need to maintain resource team, right? Like Windows team, storage team, network team. Okay, so in the same way, infrastructure we need. Okay, we need to pay like electricity charges, various operational expenditures are there. Yes. The same way, scalability issues are there in future if one high scalability. The same way, security problems are there with the local data center in general. So like this, in future, if want to increase the hardware or if want to set up across the globe, for example, means if you want to maintain the resources or maintain the applications across the globe by decentralizing, then again it is a very lengthy process. So that's why to overcome all these problems here, in the same way we have performance issues we make it. Okay, so to overcome all these various limitations of on-premises environment, today most of the clients are going with cloud computing platforms. Cloud computing platforms. Okay, so cloud computing platform is basically, remember, Microsoft has set up data centers across the globe. Okay, so Amazon has set up data centers across the globe. Okay, so just what we can do, we can create a just account. Okay, we can create a account. Then we can start using the resources which are there in the data centers. That is it. Just cloud computing refers to what? Providing computing services. Okay, providing the computing resources in the form of services. So by maintaining global data centers or through global data centers. That is the reasons here today. Suppose let's say we have developed one app. I want to make the app available online. For example, we can make it immediate here. Why? Because now no need to build the local data center. Okay, directly we can create a account in Microsoft Azure. Then we can deploy the apps, we can deploy the applications, databases, everything we can deploy here within less time. Okay, no need to waste 2 months, 3 months time also. So immediately, why? Because resources are available readily. Means what? How much configuration server we need, we can take the servers directly, we can deploy our databases and applications. That's remember with cloud data centers, now it has become very easy to make an application live or online. Okay, so like various definitions are there. What is cloud computing? We'll see. Basically, say like cloud computing is delivery of computing services over internet. Okay, so that's remember like everything is provided. All the computing services are provided through what? Internet, over internet. Next year, cloud computing provides your servers, storage, databases, networking, everything's here. So whatever we need to make the applications live, okay, it may be any type of applications. So it may be like web applications or any type of applications. So the resources which are required to make the applications available, so those resources are available in the cloud data centers. Okay. Yes. So that's why remember like now it has become very easy for us to make the setup ready, to make the applications ready, uh, functioning or making online has become very easy, very simple today with cloud computing platforms. Okay, so that is what is cloud computing. Companies offering these computing services are called as what? Cloud providers. Cloud providers. Actually, say like so many cloud providers are there today in the market. Okay, so from Amazon we have AWS is it? Okay, so from Amazon, we have AWS, is it? Amazon Web Services, is it? Okay. So in the same way, from Microsoft, we have Microsoft Azure, is it? Google has their own cloud platform, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Like say, Alibaba, so many cloud computing platforms are available today. Okay, so many cloud computing platforms are available today. Then, so yes, check here again. Once again, here see depends on the usage only. See, typically charges are there depends on usage only here. Okay, so depends on usage only. We are going. The charges are there like per minute charges are there, per hour charges are there. Here depends on usage only, we are going to pay. That is another major benefit of what cloud computing platforms, like no need to pay. Yeah, yeah, no need to pay. Yes, a fixed amount, no need to pay, but we have different licensing models are there. We'll talk about that licensing models. Okay, so we'll talk about different licensing models are there. We can discuss those licensing models, but we have to start with the cloud computing platforms in general. We have pay as you go option, is it? Means what? Depends on usage only. We need to pay. No need to pay. Yeah, a fixed amount. It depends on usage only. We need to pay. Yes. So that is like another major flexibility is that why today most of the clients are preferring cloud computing platforms. Okay. Yes. Yes. Check here like various benefits are there. First one we have seen hardware means what? No need to purchase the hardware. Yeah, everything total like servers, storage, networking components, VPNs, all are available here in the cloud data centers. Okay, all these are available in the cloud data centers. Just we need to take which machine we need, Windows server or Linux server. So with how much configuration, with what configuration, or with what size, machine size we need, we can start using. In futures here, at any time you can increase the resources, right? That is one of a major benefit of cloud computing. Now today I am using 32 GB RAM server. Tomorrow I can increase to 64 GB RAM. Okay, at any time. So like that is like flexibility is there here. Okay, no need to waste that time by hardware procurement. So the same way global presence, right? Our cloud data centers are there across the globe. Anywhere we can place the resources, anywhere we can place the applications. But generally we are following some policies actually. Yeah, actually like best practice is what? We have to place the resources, yeah, in the nearby region. Let's say client is from yeah, Virginia. We have in North Virginia, we have one region is there. There we can place our resources. Client is from India. In India, we have three regions are there: Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, for example. Okay, so in these regions only we have to place the resources. Means what? Like while placing the resources, remember actually like we have data centers are there across the globe. It's not meaning that we are going to place the resources in UK or US. Client is from India. In India region only we have to place the resources. Why? Because IO cost will reduce, input output cost will reduce. Okay, so in the same way, complaints, yeah, we can implement. Okay, why? Because like always the policy is it like to avoid the yeah, global yeah, issues in future. Always the policy is there place in the nearby data center only. Okay, check here if you see Microsoft Azure, we have like if we say Azure Global Infrastructure, global infrastructures here. Okay, so check it by Microsoft is showing very clearly. I go to global networks here. Check it very clearly. They are mentioning here across the globe we have data centers are there. Almost all everywhere here we have data centers are there. Actually, we have regions are there. Each region is a collection of data center. Each region is a collection of data centers. Take your infrastructure map dot microsoft dot com. Okay, so very interactive in a graphical way. Microsoft has represented presented here the total infrastructure. So basically, remember regions are there in the infrastructure elements or architecture. We have regions are there. Under each region, we have here almost all 140 countries. They are saying. So in every region, remember we have data centers. Okay, in every region we have data centers globally. Okay, see, like they have, yeah, they have everywhere say like they have laid down the physical cables here, GBPS, gigabytes net cables are there here, which are connected to the regions or data centers across the globe. Okay, so actually like they have built a very huge yeah, infrastructure they have built here. Microsoft has built. So now check here. If we see here, we can see here like in almost all here in Australia, everywhere here. So everywhere we have regions are there, almost all. Okay, so Middle East, everywhere here we have regions are there. So we can watch the regions here just by moving through the globe. Okay, so here see like we have regions are there here by clicking here in West India. Nothing but region is there in Mumbai location actually. So the complete details are there. It was opened in 2015. Okay, so complete details are there. So availability zones are there. Every region is a collection of availability zone. So basically remember like availability zone is like a data center. Okay, a separate physical data center availability zone. So what are the products are available in this zone? They are there very clearly. So global complaints, they are following here. So almost all the complete details are there. So we can check here, like we can see the complete infrastructure elements we can see here by clicking here. This is our Chennai region. This is Pune region. 3 regions are there here. So check it like almost all anywhere here. You can turn the globe. You can watch the regions. You can see the various regions. Okay, so it's like they have with physical cables, they have laid down the connectivity as well as like through Wi-Fi also, sir. They are providing the connectivity actually across the globe. So America region, we have different availability. Different regions are there. In that we have so many availability zones. We'll talk about the architecture elements. First point we have to understand regions are there. Under regions we have availability zones are there. Except in Africa, recently they are built in South Africa. Except in Africa, if you see, almost all everywhere we have these regions are available. Here some infrastructure issues are there in Africa as well as like security issues are there. That's why like maybe they are planning now to build with in different other locations also in Africa, especially here in Nairobi, Kenya. So like they say, like across the globe, they have invested huge money actually. Microsoft has invested very huge money to build the data centers across the globe. Okay, we'll see these architecture elements once again. Then global presence is there anywhere we can place, but already we have seen we are following some rules actually. So it should be nearby to the client. Then on-demand services, right? We can place the databases, we can place the applications, or we can create the virtual machines at any time on demand. On demand. Okay, so means what? Like there is no need to take any approval from the Microsoft. Immediately we can create the resources at any time. Okay, then so scalability is there. At any time we can do scale up, scale down activities we can implement. Means what? Whenever the load is high on the servers, we can do scale up. If the load is down, we can do scale down. And even we can automate these scale up, scale down activities by mentioning some threshold values. Okay, so if the usage is above 70%, or if the RAM usage is above 90%, I want to increase the RAM automatically. Without any downtimes here, we can increase the resources, which is very major benefit of any cloud computing platform. Broad network access means from anywhere we can access the cloud resources. Okay, so pay as you go, we have seen depends on usage only we are going to pay, no need to pay any fixed amount. Okay, so the same way like hybrid compatibility. Even said generally whenever we are saying that cloud computing, it refers to public cloud, okay, in general. Public cloud means what? So Microsoft has established data centers across the globe. So any user or any organization, any client can place the resources in the cloud data center. That's why it is a public cloud, right? So we can build the private cloud also. Means like generally for like finance institutions like banks, okay, so government organizations, they wants to build their own local data center with cloud features. They wants to build what? Local data center with cloud features. In that case, we can make say hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud. Okay. So means what? Combination of public plus private is a hybrid cloud. So means what? Still we can use, suppose let's say in the on-premises environment, still some storage is there, some servers are there. Still we can make use of those servers instead of wasting the resources. That is called say combining private plus public cloud platforms is basically it is a hybrid cloud. High performance is there. Why? Because today we have seen just now like Microsoft is saying they have implemented GPPS network. So as well as like high speed network is there between the regions. The same way, like we have different architecture elements are there here to get what high performance. High performance. The same way, like we have uh, the same way towards storage. Generally, say like Microsoft is towards storage. Say like Microsoft is using SSDs, means solid state drives. SSDs whose throughput is very fast, whose I/O is very high. Okay, so that's to say like that is the reason today's year we are getting very high performance. We are getting what very high performance we are getting. So towards this yeah, in the infrastructure elements here we are getting very high performance. Okay. So that's to say like these are the various benefits are there. Yeah, different benefits are there here with cloud computing platforms today. So various definitions are there. Just we'll see official definition. We'll move to Microsoft Azure. Okay. So basically here from NIST, we have some official definition is there. What is cloud computing from NIST? Check here like cloud computing is model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources, right? Configurable computing resources. Okay, so yeah, configurable computing resources means what? All the computing resources are available, like yeah, servers are there. Okay, database servers are there. So just we have to configure, start using, configure, start using. Okay, so that is like configurable computing resources. And see, that can be provisioned rapidly provisioned. Provisioning means, remember, creating, okay, and release with minimal management effort or service provider interaction. That's why, remember, like no need of service provider interaction. So we can handle everything almost all. So if anything is there, we can raise the ticket to Microsoft also with support plan. We should have some support plan. We'll see. So this is your first part of the definition. Second part of the definition is there. Sir, this cloud model composed of 5 essential characteristics, 3 service models, and 4 deployment models. Okay, that means what? Whenever we are saying that this is cloud computing platform, it must and should have these 5 essential characteristics. Okay, then only we can recognize or identify it as a cloud computing platform. Okay, and generally we know cloud computing is providing the resources in the form of what? Services. That's why generally we have classified the services into 3 major categories in cloud computing. One is your infrastructure as a service, plat platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, infrastructure, platform, software. Just here, in case of infrastructure as a service, Microsoft is providing the complete infrastructure what we need. Means what? Servers, storage, networking components, VPNs, everything complete infrastructure. Means what? We can have our own dedicated server. We can create our own dedicated server with how much RAM we need, with how many CPUs, everything, and we can install in that server whatever we want, like applications, databases, whatever we want, we can install. And we can shut down the server, we can restart the server whenever it is required. Means our own dedicated server it is. Okay, then, so means what? Complete server is there in our hand, means we need to maintain the server along with OS. Whereas platform as a service is there. So here once again it is a shared environment. Means what? Like already, suppose let's say tomorrow you want to deploy SQL Server database. Here see, we have to create a server. In that we have to install SQL Server. Then we can deploy our databases. But if you are going with PaaS, remember, platform as a service, platform itself is available. Means what? Microsoft has already installed SQL Server. No need to install SQL Server again. Directly we can deploy our databases. Means what? Let's say you are a application developer, .NET developer. Already .NET platform is there here. Directly we can deploy our .NET applications. Okay, we are SQL Server administrators, for example. Already SQL Server is pre-installed here. In case of PaaS, directly we can deploy the SQL Server databases. Once again, remember, this is for large scale applications. This is for startup or medium scale applications. We can go with PaaS. Means here generally recommended is there up to 1 TB. If the database size is up to 1 TB, we can maintain here, see, in PaaS, platform as a service, for example. Software as a service is that generally here, let's say I am running one IT company, for example. So we have developed one application for schools, for example. So now what I will do, I will take either IaaS or PaaS. See, if huge number of clients are there, I will go with IaaS. If less number of clients are there, initially we can go with PaaS to reduce the cost also. Okay, PaaS environment. So I will take either IaaS or PaaS services from Microsoft. I will add my own application. Okay, will add our own application, means which has both front end and back end part, and this application will I will provide to our clients. Means what? My client will open the some URL, they will register or they will create a subscription, then they can start using the school management application. Okay, no need to download any their laptops, no need to maintain their own local data centers, right? That is your SaaS application. That's why today most of the, I think we have seen, now the market is for SaaS applications today. Okay, so understood, right? So as a IT company, I will take either IaaS or PaaS services from Microsoft. We'll add our own applications, our own databases, then we'll provide it to our non-IT people, means our clients, as a SaaS application. Means what? In the client no need to install anything in their laptop, just they will open the URL, login, then start working with their school students the complete information, right? So that is like a SaaS application. These are like three major services are there. All the services are divided into these three major categories, and four deployment models are there. We have in general here in the cloud computing, we have four deployment models are there. Already we have seen. Normally, if it is a cloud computing, means what? It refers to public cloud. Means what? Data centers are there across the globe. Anyone can place the resources in the data centers. We can build, even we can ask Microsoft to build the local data center with cloud features. Local data center with cloud features, which is private cloud, but it is that's why we can say that public cloud is a multi-tenant multi-tenant it is. Why? Because any number of companies, any number of users can maintain their resources here. But private cloud is a single tenant environment, means our own dedicated setup actually. So means like a local data center with cloud features is what private cloud. Basically finance related institutions like banks plus government organizations, they will go with the private cloud. In the same way, hybrid cloud is it, which is a combination of private plus public. Hybrid cloud. So we have community cloud is it, where similar communities can manage their resources. These are like four types of cloud deployment models are available. But tomorrow, whenever we are working with cloud computing platforms, 90% scenarios are there where we are working with cloud computing. Public cloud. 90% in environment scenarios we are working with what? Public cloud. So here like we'll see what are the five essential characteristics are there, then we'll see some practical things. One is here like on-demand self-service here, right? At any time we can create the resources, we can manage by our own. Then broad network access, we can access from anywhere. Then rapid elasticity, very, very important feature of cloud computing platform. So we have seen elasticity, we can increase or decrease the resources at any time. Okay, suppose Amazon is saying we have sale between 20 and 25, for example. So in these 5 days here, we can increase the resources. After that, we can decrease back, for example. Measured services means what? Depends on usage only. We are going to pay. No need to pay any fixed amount. Resource pooling is it? All the resources are there in the form of pool here. We can use any resource. Okay, we can start working with the resource. Yes, these are like various benefits are there. Various characteristics, main characteristics of any cloud computing platform. Common characteristics. Okay, then we'll see in detail about this again. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Once again, I will discuss in tomorrow's class. But as part of our today's class, demo class, uh, we have to see some practical things like how we are working with Microsoft Azure as a SQL Server DBA. What features are available for us? How we are working with Microsoft Azure. Just we have to understand Microsoft Azure is one of a uh, yeah cloud computing platform uh, which is available today. So it is a after AWS. So still according to 2020 August study, uh, still AWS is leading in the market, but Microsoft Azure is there in the second place today. Okay, so but if you see the infrastructure of Azure is more means it is very better or more regions are there as compared with AWS today. Okay, but as a SQL Server professional or the clients who are using SQL Server or Microsoft technologies, in general, they are going with Microsoft Azure. Okay, so still remember some clients are using AWS also. It's not meaning that 100% everyone who is working with SQL, they are using Microsoft Azure. Some clients are going with AWS also. Okay, at least 10% clients, 10 to 15% clients in the market, still they are going with AWS. Why? Because AWS was introduced in the year 2007. Okay, it was the first cloud computing platform. That's why some clients has already started using AWS. They are continuing. But Microsoft has come up with Microsoft Azure in the year 2012. Means full-fledgedly they have implemented from 2012 onwards. Yeah, almost all 9-10 years back. Right. Take care. What is there? In first point, we have to understand. Uh, every resource in cloud computing is provided as a service, right? So service means what? Like internet service provider is there, depends on usage. Generally, we can pay. So same thing. Remember, depends on usage. Whenever we are saying it is a service, depends on usage only. We need to pay. No need to pay any fixed amount. But we have different types of options are there, like payment options are there. We'll talk about this later. But if I come to Microsoft Azure, uh, in Microsoft Azure, as a SQL Server DBA or as a SQL Server developer, what is there in Microsoft Azure? Basically, remember, as a SQL Server professional, uh, whenever we are working with Microsoft Azure, generally we are working with these three major features. See here, one is SQL Server on Azure VMs. Azure VMs means what? Like we can create a virtual machine in Microsoft Azure. In that virtual machine, we can install required OS like Windows or Linux or which OS we want. In that, we can install required SQL Server version. It may be 2019, 2017, any version. So in that, we can manage our databases. Database icon is not there, no problem. So that is it. Like that's why means what? Like complete machine we can create, one server we can create. It may be Windows server or Linux server. In that we can install SQL or Windows is there. In that SQL server we can install which version we want. Then we can maintain our databases. Means virtual machine means remember like here we can work with all the features. Means we can work with log shipping, mirroring, always on, clustering, replication. Means what? It is similar to on-premises environment only, except that the hardware is not with us. Hardware is in the Microsoft Cloud Data Center. We can work with all the features what we are working today in on-premises environment. Plus, we have cloud features are there, extra features like scalability, uh, yeah, high performance, some other features. Okay, right. So that's why in virtual machine, understood, right? We can take remote desktop of this server also. So we can shut down the server, we can restart the server, we can install multiple instances also. We can install, everything is same how we are working today. So in on-premises environment, yeah, that is it. SQL Server on Azure VM. Azure VM. Again, remember it comes under IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, complete virtual machine we can create with required OS, with required SQL Server version. Okay, so then second one's here like Azure SQL managed instance is there here. Azure SQL managed instance is there. It is for medium scale applications. Means what? Microsoft will provide us SQL instance. Not, we don't have machine level access actually. Means what? In one machine, maybe 2, 3 instances are there. One instance access we can take. See here we have complete machine in our hand. Here only particular instance is there. So in that instance, we can deploy our databases. We can work with that databases. Okay, managed instance for medium scale applications. Here in managed instance, Microsoft has already installed SQL Server. Always remember in managed instance, we have latest version always by default. By default, we are working with latest version here. Tomorrow, Microsoft is releasing a new version. Automatically, they will upgrade to higher new version. See here, machine level access is there. In that, you want how many instances we can maintain. But here, machine level access is not there. Only instance level access is there here. Particular instance level we can work with. Okay, in that we can manage any number of databases according to our limits. Okay, then third one is there's here Azure SQL database service. It is database level service. Only we can work with our database only. Means what? We can deploy our databases. We can work with only DB level only. We don't have access to instance. We don't have access to the machine like here. Only DB level access is there. Basically, this Azure SQL database service is basically for startup applications. Licensing cost is very low here. Means up to 1 TB, up to 1 TB database we can maintain here. Okay, which comes under, these both comes under PaaS, platform as a service. Why? Because machine level access is not there with us. So Azure SQL database service is there, which is a DB level service actually. Here see we can manage up to 1 TB. Actually 4 TB is also allowed, but recommended is what? Up to 1 terabytes. Database size can be what? Up to 1 TB here. And still everything is automated here. Means what? Backups are automated. Okay, so everything are automated here. We can, by default alerts are there. Everything are available here. So that's why remember, like for startup applications, we can go with what? Azure SQL database service. So here see like here database size depends on pricing is there here, depends on database size and number of DTUs, database transaction units per second, number of DTUs actually. Suppose here, like if you want to maintain database of 2 gigabytes, okay, with 5 DTUs, we'll talk about in detail 5 transactions per second, its meaning. Okay, later we'll see. Its cost is here $5 here. Means what? We are not going to maintain any server. We are not installing SQL Server. No need to maintain Windows team, network team, storage team. Just deploy the database here, and approximate cost is $5 here per month to 2 GB database size. Okay, so up to 250 GB database size with 10 DTUs, for example, up to 250 database size, up to 10 DTUs. Okay, its cost is $15. See, very less cost is there here. Okay, so that's why remember, like startup applications, startup clients, they can go with what? PaaS environments here. Okay, so with Azure SQL database, directly we can deploy the database, we can configure the firewalls. Here also, here remember, we don't have here log shipping, mirroring, always on replication. We can't configure here, but Azure SQL database has its own high availability feature with the name geo replication, which is similar to always on, as well as it has its own replication feature, like with data sync, which is similar to our transactional replication. That's why what I'm saying, in Azure SQL VM only we can work with all the features what we are working right now, but here we have its own features, separate features actually. Okay, so that's why, like tomorrow, whenever we are working in, whenever we are managing SQL Server in cloud platform, means basically remember 50 to 60% we are working with Azure SQL databases. Remaining 30 to 40% we are working with these two services. Okay, basically with virtual machines. Understood, right? Here everything is built in. Administration activities are very less here. So built-in alerts are there here. Built-in alerts. No need to create manually alerts. All the alerts are readily available. Just I will connect to the portal. There is no time. We can see some more differences also in the tomorrow's class between these three. I will show you one more time in detail. So yeah, so step by step we'll go. Just here, like to start working with the cloud computing platform. First steps here, we have to create a free tier account. Free tier account we have to create. Azure.microsoft.com. So here we can create here free account which works for 1 month. Okay, or till 200 credits are completed. Free tier account. Okay, so once the account is created, then we can connect to the portal. After that, we can start working with the portal. Okay, so already have credentials are there with us. Check here all the services we can see. See here. That's why to work with the SQL Server in Azure VMs, we can go with virtual machines. This here SQL databases, which comes under PaaS. Just now we have seen, which is a database level service, DB level service. Directly we can create a database here. I think this account is disabled. Already 1 month is over, I think. So directly here we can create a database here. Account is after 1 month, remember, account is disabled automatically. Microsoft is not going to charge anything. Okay, so just we can enter like a database name here. We can create a endpoint here. Means already Microsoft has installed SQL Server. For that SQL Server just will create a endpoint, some name like optimize something dot database dot windows dot net. This is the server name, login name, password, in which location you want to deploy this database. Okay, so or we can take the existing server also if you have already created. Then here already we have seen here number of TTUs. Depends on size of database, number of TTUs charges are there here. Okay, so we have seen like we can change the number of TTUs at any time. Okay, so we can go with different tiers also here. We'll see that performance tiers are there. Depends on the tier, charge $15 here almost all. Okay, so we can create the database very fastly. Say empty, once I say create, review and create, empty database is created. We'll talk about this in detail in tomorrow's class. Okay, I will show you both the examples. I will show you IaaS and PaaS examples. Then we'll start with step by step. Actually, here account is disabled. It is saying that's why you can't create. I have one more account. Is it by using that account? I will show you practically. Okay. Yes. Let's see what we'll do. We'll conclude the session here today. Just we have discussed cloud computing basics. We have seen, but important concepts are there. Cloud computing is a collection of three major services. We have seen IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And second important point we have to understand, whenever we are working as a SQL Server DBA in Microsoft Azure, we have three options are there with us. We can work with virtual machines. We can work with managed instances where we have instance level access, and Azure SQL database, which is a DB level access for us. That's why we can create, say, like virtual machines. We can create if you type SQL Server 2017, for example. Pre-configured images are there. Just by using those images here, we can create the servers here. SQL Server, yeah, 2017 on Ubuntu. So SQL Server 2017 on Windows Server. Just we have to configure this Windows settings, SQL Server settings, just 4 or 5 properties. Then the server will be ready. So even we can use here, bring your own license. Suppose already my client has SQL Server license is there, Windows license is there with us. We can use that license. 48 to 49% cost is reduced. Okay, suppose per hour its cost is like 14 rupees, 15 rupees, for example. So if I use this existing license, 50% cost is reduced. Okay, bring your own license. Again, no need to pay completely if you have existing license. Okay, so I will show you, maybe due to time is not sufficient for us. I will show you next. I have to start next class. That's why I will show you practically tomorrow uh, uh, how we are working with IaaS, how we are working with PaaS. Uh, then we'll go with the next. We'll start with theoretically with Microsoft Azure. Then we'll go one by one. First, we'll see Azure SQL databases. Then we'll see managed instances. Then we'll see virtual machines. And I think already you have seen. You can see the course content also. Maybe our people has shared you already in IT school. Yeah, Azure SQL DBA course content. You can see here the course content. Okay, so we'll start with PaaS. We'll see migrations. We'll see security, data sync. We have seen backups. Then replication, which is similar to always on in PaaS. Then monitoring, troubleshooting. Then working with virtual machines. Okay, so yeah, DP300 is a Microsoft exam. We'll try to cover those exam contents as part of this course. Okay. Right. Right then, thank you very much for joining today's class. We'll continue again tomorrow. Okay.